Hi tubers, it's me FYFWM, and I thought while I was sitting in the car, I'll come to you guys. Let me lower the camera a little bit. I'll come to you guys with a video. Before I get into what I want to talk about, because I told you this channel, I decided I'm just chunk it all in. I'm going to talk about everything I have on is thrifty, even though you cannot see it. I did have on my, it's made like a Kango style, but it's a London Fog thrifted cap. But I got hot. I'm sitting in the car waiting on my daughter, and I got hot, so I pulled it off and just fluffed out my wig, baby. Yes. And I should have showed you guys this wig before, but this thing was huge, because sometimes I like big hair. But I had wore, and I was like, oh, I'm tired of all this hair, so I just started cutting on it, and I kind of trimmed it down, but I love this wig. Also, I'm going to share with you guys, I love this purse. This purse has so many different compartments. It's a vintage. I don't know what kind it is. It put me in the mind. I don't have anything back here, so I don't mind showing you this. But when I say this thing has so many compartments, license, then you can zip. I mean, it has so many change. Hey, I didn't know that was in there. I didn't check it very good, did it? Change pen, places for your cards, and it's genuine leather. And then the front of it, I just absolutely love. Let me let this one down. It's getting really hot. It's silver hardware. Look at that hardware, and it snaps. And then when it snaps, it pop open. And I got this zip because my wallet and stuff is in there, but it has several compartments. And look at that pretty paisley. I didn't get that off. I should have rubbed that some more, but it has that pretty paisley. And you just close it, and you can actually put something in there. And I don't know, it reminds me, I have a vintage Brigham. I think that's how you pronounce it. And that's what it reminds me of. But I love the box shape of it. And I just threw this, I thought the scarf was so pretty. And so I just threw this scarf on here for like a pop of color. It got red and gray and cream. And I thought it would be perfect on this. And I love the box style of it. So we got that out the way. I wanted to come on here today because I wanted to talk about something that I was thinking about last week. Well, really not even last week, a couple of days ago. And I was thinking on the lines of the subject of forgiveness. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about that is because so many people now are so offended. They're walking around and they are really hurt. They're hurt from their childhood. They're hurt from their parents. They're hurt from their grandparents. Something that's been said. They're hurt from childhood friends. They're hurt from childhood bullies. And they carry all of this stuff around for so long. Sometimes you can carry it around for so long that you suppress it. And you don't really know. Hold on one second. When I say, I'm going to turn this heat down. And it's on 75, guys. And when I say this heat is cooking. Oh, my God. Wait a minute, y'all. Let me see, honey. I just turned that sucker off. Whew. Oh my God, I'm gonna sweat my wig. But anyway, so many people, they walk around with their hurt. They walk around with their disappointment. They walk around with their anger, their fear. And you won't allow anybody to get next to you because of this. Now, you say, well, what you know? I don't think if I ever told my story on this channel before, but being that I'm incorporating so many other things, I'm going to share a little bit snippet of my story, just, you know, as I go. Coming up, my mom had like a breakdown. So we went to live with my aunt, which was my father's aunt on my father's side. And this was, you know, back in the day, whatever. She was very abusive. She was abusive to me and my sister. I didn't get as much as abuse because I was the baby. So a lot of times my sisters would take the abuse or the punishment for myself. Once my mom was started, you know, she wanted her babies, because it was 4 of us. She came and she picked us up from Georgia, and we moved to Chicago. Living in Chicago as a single woman with 4 daughters, she was very protective. She had 3 jobs. She was a singer. Oh, I wish she had passed it on to me. She worked for Blue Cross, and I don't remember her other job, but I know she had 3 jobs. During that process, I think I had been with her about 2 years, and she got killed in a about that, guys. I'm back. We done went somewhere else, and I put my hat back on because I had to run out, and it got cold. So I'm trying to make sure I didn't look crazy. So where I stopped off at, I think I stopped off at the point where my mom had got killed. What happened was a drunk driver ran a red light, hit her. It was her boyfriend, my sister, and her friend. My sister was going to her graduation party. She was getting ready to graduate from high school. So she was 18 and she was going to a graduation party where she never made it. The drunk driver hit them and spin them over into a brick wall. They crashed into the brick wall. My mom died immediately. The friend, I think she lived. My sister died the next day. We was kids, and both of them name was Gwendolyn, and they really didn't give her any medical attention, and she ended up passing away because they was like, they didn't. It's a long story that I cannot get into right now, or the video will be extremely long. But okay, so then to say all that, I ended up moving with my father and his family. Now, I had not really seen my father, nor did I know my father. And let me put this disclaimer out here. This is not to make anybody look bad. This is not to, oh, woe is me. This is just my story. I ended up moving with my father that I really did not know. I remember the last time I saw him, I was like, I want to say 9. And he came to Chicago with his wife. He came by the place to see me, and I really didn't know who he was. Okay, so once my mom died, my mom we would have like weekly meetings, and she would say, you know, if something happened to me, blase, blase, blase. She would always say if something happened to me, she wanted my older sister to take care of us. My older sister was not in a position nor in a mindset to take care of me nor my other sister. My sister that's next to me is much stronger. She's really strong. She's always been a fighter. Anyway, I'm gonna have to skip certain things so it won't seem so long. I'm trying to give you the meat of it all. So I ended up moving with my father and his family. Well, of course, I wasn't a welcome guest. The way I see it is because my mom passed away. And, you know, when you pass away like that, my mom worked, you know, you get a check. I think the check was more exciting to get than me. But anyway, that's my opinion. It was not a pleasant situation. I always felt like I was rejected. That's just the truth. That was the truth. I was rejected. I always felt like I was always picked on. Let's just be honest. From my stepsisters. Now, that's not true. One of my stepsisters was pretty kind to me. She was pretty nice. One of them was awful. And I'm not going to call any names. I'm just, you know, was really awful. And I remember one time an incident had happened, and she sat on the couch with her child, and they teased, you know, crybaby, suck your mama titty. I didn't have anybody really to fight for me. Now, you say, well, where were your father? My father was a DJ. So my father, like, when I came, he came and basically took me to his wife. He lived in a different city, the same state, but a different city that's like 3 hours away. So on the weekends, he would DJ at a different place closer to where we live. So he would come from where he was that Friday, early Saturday, DJ there, and then Sunday morning he would come home. So when I wake up Sunday morning, he would be at home. But then he would leave Sunday evening and go back because he lived, I said, in a different place 3 hours away. But I would stay there with his wife. I just was made to feel less than. You know, why your butt so big? Why this? Why that? I came from a very affectionate place. My mom was very affectionate. So, and she made big deals about your birthday and things like that. And I came to a place that was not very affectionate, I said, towards me. And I was rejected. And so I learned to fight for myself. I learned to try to look out for myself. So I became very hateful, very bitter, very angry, very manipulative, very critical, very judgmental, self-rejection, didn't like myself. You know, I did a video early. Go back and check out some of my old videos. If I can link it, I will, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to. I probably can do it on this phone because I'm on my phone. But I hated myself. I did not feel good about myself. I did not like the way my body was shaped. I didn't. But before then, even when I was in Georgia, I had an incident where, you know, I was fondled. Then even moved. I had an incident where I was fondled. I didn't feel right telling this person that and then let's be honest, even as a child growing up, because I was about 11 then, getting ready to turn 12, this person was touching my bodies in ways that even though you don't really understand, but because you're coming into, I don't want to say sexual maturity, but I'll say puberty. You know, it starts to feel good. You know what I mean? So this person was fondling me, and I felt like I had to let them do that because that was my only friend or ally in that situation, which it wasn't. I'm trying to be careful because I'm trying to be careful, but I want to be transparent. The individual was, I just have to say it was my stepmother's son. So I learned to, I felt like this is what I have to do so he can be my friend and I have somebody on my side. But I mean, he I hung with him because I felt like he was the only somebody I had, in a sense, like he would get the car, he would let me drive the car, and he would be kind to me, So I grew up with a lot of, I'm 7 minutes into this thing, a lot of anger. And like I said before, well, as I got older, as soon as I turned 18, graduated from high school, I left. I didn't want no part of them, no part of the situation. I was gone. And eventually I met my husband. Me and my husband got married. I had 2 babies and moved. Now I'm going to skip forward. I got to know God. And even though I got to know God, I really did not understand what was wrong with me. I hadn't heard anything about rejection and that I was dealing with the spirit of rejection because I had been so rejected. It was years before I learned out later what was wrong with me. And that's why I say in the other video, God really saved our marriage, because even though we were never that couple that just in the beginning, we had some I don't want to say hard times, but we had some situations. I don't think I would have ever left him, but I mean, we used to talk real ugly to one another. Real ugly to one another. To the point where I had gained so much weight. When I met my husband, I had been on a thing because I was going to go to the Navy. So I had been on a thing, dieting, watching what I eat, and I was like 128 pounds. And I stayed there for a minute until I got pregnant. When I got pregnant, I went from 128 to 134. So I went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, "You pregnant." So that kind of shot up, my weight being pregnant. But, so after that, Well, I love my trainer. After that, you know, like I'm saying, that's why I said God really saved that mess, because I gained so much weight. So when we would get to argue, he would be like, you know, your big fat so-and-so, and I'd be like, yeah, and your ugly so-and-so, and at least I can lose weight, baby, but you can't lose ugliness. You know, just we was awful. But in the process, and he was in college. So we got married when he was in college. So even through the process, I got saved. I was at home one day. Well, let me backtrack. Earlier than then, when I was in high school, because my stepmom ended up getting saved. And she really introduced me to God. And I thank her from this day forward. I will always appreciate and love her for that. She introduced me to Christ. And I got to know Christ. So I got saved. But I was a kid, so, you know, backslid or whatever. But once I got married, and I had been married a couple of years, I was at home watching TBN. And the Lord just was dealing with me. I got saved. I fell on my knees, you know, crying out to God, speaking in tongues, loving on God. So my husband came home. I told my husband, I was like, you know, I got saved. So he's like, oh, good job. But that began to change me and change my life. Later on, even though my husband always went to church, he was never just, and he was saved, but he didn't know nothing about talking in tongues and all. We didn't know the power of God. I put it like that. So after that, our lifestyle changed. We joined church. We started finding out more in depth about God and started getting some understanding. Then we moved. I don't know what this spot is in my clothes. It's bothering me. So just ignore. So we ended up moving. Once we moved, we was looking for a church. We went through real bad transition. But anyway, we went through eviction. We went through staying in a hotel. I mean, we went through some transitions. Then that's why I said, honey, that's a whole nother vlog. But anyway, so we got saved and we joined this church. And that was the best decision we ever made in our life, because this pastor was so knowledgeable. He's still my pastor right today. And he had these different little groups. So we ended up joining the deliverance team. And in joining that team was the best decision. I always feel like that was the first step in my calling of what God wanted me to do, joining that team. Joining that team, we learned about spiritual things, demonic things. We learned about spirit rejection, bitterness, hurt. Oh my God, we learned so much. And then I began to see, because he had books and study guides. And you can go, our pastor had these people come in and teach John Eckhart and all these people. And I began to understand that I was dealing with a spirit of rejection. And with that spirit, that door is so much more, so many more spirits that's connected to that. So God began to show me. And he's still showing me. And he's still working on me. He's still delivering me. And I went through deliverance. First of all, I had to face that hurt. Well, years ago, God had told me, he said, clean out your cattle corner. When I first got saved, he said, clean out your cattle corner. And I was like, clean out my cattle corner, Lord, what that mean? Well, he took me back when I was a child. On Saturday morning was cleanup day. Everybody had their assignment. One of my assignment was, because I was the youngest, I had to, you know how you sweep, like, my mom would say you straighten up during the week, but you clean up on the weekend. Really clean up. So during the week, you know, you sweep the floor, you mop the floor. But on the weekend, I had to get a rag. And these towels, she would keep you rip them up, you rip your piece up, get a butter knife. I would have to get on my knees and go and get all that gunk from that sweeping and mopping out them cattle corners where it got real dirty and mucky. And I had to clean it out there. I wipe it on it, clean it out there. So he gave me that scenario. He said, clean out your cattle corner. My heart was the cattle corner. So deep down, and the Bible said the heart is so deceitful, who really even knows it? Nobody but God. So he was telling me, you got to search them deep parts. You got to allow the Holy Spirit to search those deep parts of your heart and pull those roots up and pluck those things up. So I was like, oh my God. So I got it. Get on my knees. seek his face. Let him clean my heart out, because it's just like an old dirty rag. Without him, let him clean my heart right. With the sword of God, I can defeat these things. Well, I'm thinking, okay, well, one of the steps, this is me now. He did not tell me to do this. I'm thinking this. I said, you know what? I'm finna go. I just feel so much love in my heart. You know how you get those feelings when you're like, oh, I just love everybody. I love everybody. Well, I had got so much love in my heart. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go and tell my stepmother I forgive her. I love her and I don't hate her anymore. So this is how I really learned how to apologize to people. So I went to her and I was like, and she kind of know, you know when you ain't just been all the way right. So I went to her and I was like, you know, I just want you to know that I love you. I don't hate you anymore. And I forgive you. Well, this is how I learned how to apologize. You know, when you apologize, you don't look for a response, because you're doing it for you and not that person. Because if you do it for that person, or the reaction that you think you're going to get from that person, and you don't get it, it's going to send you back. So she looked at me, and the statement she made was, well, and she didn't do it with that attitude. She said, well, whatever I did, if I did anything to you, then forgive me. Oh my gosh. I was furious, because I felt like you knew exactly what you have did to me. You know exactly how you have treated me. You know exactly how you have made me feel. Why couldn't you just say, I'm sorry too? Because we could have had a better relationship. So all of those emotions, and that's going to be one of my videos, dealing with your emotions. All of those emotions came back like a wave in the ocean and overtook me. And when I left there, I was in worse shape and worse condition than I was when I went. I was more angry. I was more upset. I had more hatred in my heart, because I was like, how dare she? How dare she say that? And she know that she hadn't been right about me. No way near 190, 80, 70, or 60%. I felt. And I believed that. And I was like, why couldn't I just get a regular apology? So, this is video 1 of why you should forgive and how to forgive. But before I get into other parts, I'm trying to do a 3-part. Before I get into part 2, I wanted to give you some background in part 1, so you'll know exactly why I can say this. You'll know exactly that I do understand. You'll know exactly that I'm not just coming on here just, my husband say, jaw jerking, moving my jaws, jerking my jaws, to just get likes, to get new subscribers. But I'm on here to bring some type of healing. If I can help one person, oh, glory, then glory be to God. Because it's not about me. It's not about you. But it's about our Heavenly Father and what He want to do through you, for you, and to you. So I'm going to end it here, so it won't be too extremely long. This is just the introduction to why we should forgive and how to forgive. And if this is something that you really want to grasp and get some understanding of from my perspective, please tune in to part 2. I'm going to call it the forgiveness Trinity. I might change it. But anyway, I love you guys. I really do. And, you know, that's why I've always said be the solution to someone's problem, not the problem. And sometimes the solution is just a hug, a smile, or even wave, you know, because you never know what somebody's going through that day. Matter of fact, I might share with you guys this message I got on my birthday last year. My birthday? Yeah, last year. I just want to be a blessing. I want you to be a blessing too. So without further ado, I always say be the solution to someone's problem, but I added something new. Hey, you want to know what it is? Don't be talking about, girl, you can't sing. I get tired of, listen, for us to be right here, I know, but it's not for you, okay? It's for me. When you get to this part, just plug in. But hey, give it up to God today. He'll make a way for you.